It's time for question time. Welcome to question time today, my friends. You're a project manager on a project. You are currently working on the risk register within the planning process group. You develop your risk register, you take a look at it, and you feel that more information needs to be added. So you move to the next process, plan quality management. At least that is the next on your list. After you've taken a look at this, you move into plan quality management. After plan quality management, you go back to identify risks, and watch this. I'm going to be kind. I'm going to show you what exactly is happening as we go through this. You go back to identify risks. Follow me to the page we're on, 409. You go back to identify risks, and one of the inputs that you can see here is your quality management plan. So now you are in identify risks again, putting together some final information to get an overall finalized risk register. That risk register, which is, at least for planning, all the risks you've identified, now becomes an input to a particular process within the planning process group. Which process is it? Is it A, manage quality? Is it B, plan risk responses? Is it D, determine budget? Or what? Choose an option. What do you think the answer is? If you chose determine budget, you are correct. That would be the next sensible thing to do, because the risk register within planning should go to determine budget. And once your budget is determined, you are absolutely sure that has been done, you could then advance to plan risk responses. It's very subjective, I know, but the logical order of occurrence is to think about your budget first before going over to plan your risk responses. You may ask why. Let me show you why. Let's go to plan risk responses here. 11.5. I beg your pardon, 11.5 and page. I'll tell you the page now. The page you want to be looking at to really understand what I'm showing you is page 437. So why am I so particular about you going to determine budget? The answer is right here. On page 437, if you look at the third bullet under project management plan, do you see your cost baseline? You need your cost baseline before you plan your risk responses. Why is that? Let's take a look. It just makes sense if you have done your homework. Let's read under page 439, cost baseline. It says, the cost baseline has information on the contingency fund. You need to know your contingency fund that is allocated to respond to risks. So if you get your risk register and you've kind of moved around the block a little bit, the next sensible thing to do is to understand the contingency before planning the responses. You cannot effectively plan the full gamut of possibilities if you do not know your contingency fund. And this is what makes our course on Praizion.com, PMP Exam Prep Camp, a very wholesome and robust course, because the type of questions you can encounter on our mock exams, the 2020 quiz, the challenge quiz, the challenge mock, the 2020 mock, the marathon mock, they are really, really good for you as a PMP exam candidate. So I want to tell you, this is one of the best kept secrets of the exam, the Praizion mock exam questions. They're despicable, but they're really, really good. I mean, one of my students said, Phil, when I was taking those mock exams, I was cussing you out because I was so mad at how tricky they were. But on getting to the real exam, I was so grateful to you. Jekyll and Hyde moment for a student. He ended up getting 3 ATs. He never has to open the Pembroke guide again. Isn't that great? Wouldn't you like to be on a course like that? Head on down to Praizion.com, look for PMP Exam Prep Camp. Do it right quick. See you soon. Next episode, of course. Tomorrow. I'm hoping I'll see you tomorrow. I hope so. Bye for now.